all pretty good, decent backs. And I think it's going to be really a hard fought competition. But man, I think you also saw the dynamic nature of the 49er receiving core, because they're, Ayuk, no Deebo for the most part, no Juwan Jennings for the most part, and Danny Gray catches 2 balls for 99 yards. Ray McLeod, 4 balls for 63 yards. He did have a fumble, and he had 6 last year, so that's going to be something to look for. But
that's unfortunate. Danny
Gray and Ray McLeod give this wide receiver core a dynamic feel.
Well, Gray's not just a deep threat. He caught that one over the middle tonight. I mean,
he's not just a deep threat.
Yeah,
he absolutely
he plays bigger than he is for sure.
I will bet you that Danny Gray at some point in the season will move up to the 3rd wide receiver.
He's vital. He's a vital receiver.
When they go to a 3 wide receiver set late, I could see it being Ayuk and Deebo what you could even see is you could see Deebo lined up in the backfield with Ayuk, Jennings, and Danny Gray, and you got
By the way, did you guys see that the details of Deebo's contract came out, and there's actually incentives in there for him to get a certain amount of yards rushing? It's some pretty big number. Like it was like 600 yards rushing or something.
Interesting.
They're going to continue to use him as a runner.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
Here's the thing. I mean, you got to think about this logically. The value of Deebo is the runner / receiver. So it wouldn't make any sense to sign him to some big money extension and then eliminate half of what makes him so dangerous. Now, the other thing is that it's a competitive situation. I mean, do you want everybody to know that every time you line him up in the backfield, it's a diversion? No, you want them to believe that he's going to get the ball. So they're not going to say anything along the lines of, well, we're not going to use him as a running back anymore. There's just to what end? That doesn't really make a lot of sense. Now, he talked about it extensively. He said, hey, look, I got my money and, things got worked out and we communicated and this and that. And so I'm guarantee you they said to him, hey, look, we'll take some of that load off your back. We're not going to try to run you up the middle all the time, but, it's really imperative that we keep that option open and that we're both like publicly positive about you as a runner, because otherwise we're eliminating your value and we're eliminating the they don't have to think about you as a running back if we're all stated up front that you're not going to be a running back. So the most important things were twofold. He got his money, including nearly $60 million guaranteed. That's one. And 2, they added Ty Davis-Price and they added Danny Gray. Gray's there to create more space, and Ty Davis-Price is to take some of those runs to get to the edges without using Deebo, and to maybe have some dynamic between the tackles running also without using Deebo. So as long as they made some moves to take some of the load off his shoulders and got him the guaranteed money that he sought, I think he's fine. And I think ultimately you could talk about all the different quotes and twist them around and this and that. But ultimately it sounds like, hey, you know what? It was a negotiation. He's fine with them. They're fine with him. He doesn't want to be traded. He's happy with the way he's utilized, and everything's hunky dory, and they go forward. So I don't think we're going to see, everybody's looking to try to pick the scab on this and then try to figure it out. And when were you okay? I mean, Deebo's a competitor, and Shanahan understands that, so he loves him. So it was really more about just, you're going to use this guy as a runner and a receiver, but you got to pay him like a top tier receiver because that's what he is. And then you've got to protect your investment by supporting him, by not making him run too much, not creating that extra room. So when he beats his guy, he doesn't take another hit. And Gray creates that room, and Davis takes some of those carries off his back, and he gets some more guaranteed money. And guess what? He's happy.